In the last 5 years, of all of the players who have transferred out of Miami, which one would I bring back if I could? Which is an interesting prospect because you have to look at who's left. But for me, I think the answer would have to be DJ Johnson, the defensive end turned tight end who left here and went to Oregon. He was 6'5", 260-ish from Sacramento. He came out here and everything, played or redshirted for the year and then transferred back to the West Coast. He's at Oregon. Like I said, he's playing tight end now. But, if we're just looking at what the development has been like along the defensive line, especially with big twitchy defensive ends. And this is a kid who was winning the 110 or the 100-meter dash in high school at 6'5", 260. In his classification. Now, he didn't win states or anything, but there's video of him winning the preliminaries and finals at more than a couple high school track meets, which is impressive for a man that size. So that speaks to his kind of athleticism and things like that. He's a basketball player, he's flying above the rim and he's dunking and everything like that. But yeah, just thinking about him here developing a la any defensive end recently. Gregory Rousseau, Jalen Phillips, hopefully what we're seeing with Jafari Harvey, a different kind of athlete. But, you look at Trent Harris and his development when he was here and things like that. Just look at the guys who've gotten better, especially at that big edge rusher position and guys who are twitchy and athletic like that. He would be the one who I'm like, you know what, let's add him to that rotation. And then you would have had maybe a Roche, Phillips, Rousseau, and DJ Johnson this year at defensive end, and extrapolating out where he could have been if he would have stayed here and worked with, the coaches. Oh man, that to me, that would be the one. That would be the one.
Not to disparage DJ Johnson, but if he is at the top of the list of players you hated to lose in the transfer mode in the last 5 years versus all the gains, you mentioned Roche, you mentioned King, you mentioned Phillips, it's not even close in terms of the talent that's come via transfer versus what's been lost.
Yeah. And it was also a little bit of an easy question because outside of that, who have we really lost? Brian Hightower had a touchdown his first game as a freshman against LSU in that game. Okay. He's a guy who left. I could have been funny and said Jeff Thomas because he entered the portal and was going to go to Illinois and then came back. Who else? Vincent Testaverde. Who else did we has Miami really lost off the roster who went and played somewhere else? There's not that many, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, I would say DJ Johnson would be the one of those. Yeah, who previously has transferred elsewhere off of the roster, that would be the one who I would think to get back.
Now, Lorenzo Lingard could prove to be one.
He could, but I'm very comfortable with where we are as a running back room. And, he transferred to Florida and ostensibly thought he was going to start. And I don't know that he took a meaningful snap at running back last year. And then was tweeting out about switching to linebacker or something, which I don't know if it was facetious or not. But, the 5-star high school running back was not who we saw in Miami. And even when he flashed a glimpse of that, then you had a special teams player, a practice team player hurt his knee, hurt Lingard's knee, Lingard's freshman year. And that's what happened because that is what happened. And then that was pretty much that. So, yeah, he could end up being that guy, but it's not like we're hurting for defensive ends. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, if we had DJ Johnson, then this position would be in a good spot. We have guys who are about to go first round in that same spot. But yeah, of the guys who have transferred out, I would say that Jameel Carter, I hear you. I just would, again, stand on what I've said about if I had to choose, it would be DJ Johnson. But Hightower on that list, I see where you're coming from also.
This is some great football talk, folks. Hope you appreciate it. I know that many of you do. Hit the like button. We appreciate the contributions as well. This is what keeps it going, are your individual contributions, your engagement, And I am going to look for a sponsor as well to keep this baby going. We've got the hour plus from Cam Underwood from State of the U. Hop on over to State of the U. Cam, I'll give you the floor to let us know of any highlights over there right now.
No, that's it. So, we're always grinding. So, stateoftheu.com, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at the State of the U. I got to get back and tweet a little bit more. I had, this secret day job is keeping me away from my phone a little bit. So I haven't been able to do too much. Underwood Sports is where I tweet sports and also reality TV. So, hopping into the season of Married at First Sight because Chris is the worst. And then I got to tweet about a couple other things. I was going to say exactly what I'm watching tonight, but I don't want you to ruin it because it's on my DVR, so I'm going to watch that. But if you want to find out what I'm watching at Underwood Sports, I'm going to hop on there in a little bit when I get some dinner. And yeah, so we're doing that all the time, and we'll talk to you guys next week or sometime soon.
I got dragged into that show for one season, and it was entertaining. It was interesting.
I watched it maybe like seasons 3 and 4 of Married, or no, it was like seasons 1 through 3, I want to say, of Married at First Sight that I watched. I stepped away from a while, but at the opener, the premiere, I just saw my Twitter go crazy. My reality TV Twitter that I follow going crazy talking about this Chris dude. And I was like, he can't be as bad, but everybody was on it, and then like multiple tweets. I was like, all right, fine. Whatever. Wednesday night, I'll check out and see if he's that bad. That man is worse. I couldn't believe.
What, he's just cruel?
I mean, he was saying something, first of all, he just said some ruthless stuff to his now wife. First of all, like I'm not going to ruin what he said, but in the premiere, I had to go back and watch the clip. I was like, he didn't really say that. He didn't really say that. He really said that. I was just like, bro, like, in that situation and scenario, like, word, like, okay. And then to start the second episode, he's talking about, well, I got some really earth-shattering, messed up news. And so the wife is just like, are you good? Like, I'm here to support you, whatever. He's like, nah, I don't want to talk about it. She's like, but like, does it affect you or us? He's like, yeah, like it does. It's like, so can we dialogue? Can we talk or whatever? He's like, nah, I'm not going to tell you. And it was just like, it kept going, but it started there and it escalated further. It was like, this man, like, and then he like finally decided to tell her. He takes her to the restroom, and then like, you could hear him saying, take off your microphone. He'd turned on every sink. He flushed in the toilet, like, because you watch reality TV, so that's the one place you go that they can't follow you. And the one thing you can do, or da-da-da-da. And I'm like, bruh, this man, like, and again, it goes up from there. Like this, he's the worst. He's the worst. He's the worst. He was wearing a fly jacket though when they had their dinner. He actually had it as like a full suit, but I'm like, nah, if you would just had that as the blazer and then put it with like some flat black slacks or something, like you'd have done something. But yeah, nah, he's pretty terrible. So you can look up and see exactly how and why, but it's pretty bad.
Good stuff, Cam. Always appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, no problem. So hopefully got you guys ready to watch a little Miami Hurricanes football, so you can go check that out, and also a little reality TV because that's always on. So like I said, we'll talk to you in a week or two.